Hello, everyone. This is Philip J. Woodward from Hold to Skip, and joining me today is Stephan, the
Hi.
creator, developer, artist, programmer, and general mad scientist behind an extremely intriguing indie title called Death Trash. Thank you for joining us today. Guten
Yeah.
Abend.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm well.
Doing well. It's about 6 o'clock over there, right?
Yeah, early evening. Yeah.
Yes. So it's about 10 o'clock here. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Western Germany and now living in Berlin since a few years.
Oh, nice. Couple other questions just to kind of get a warm up, get a feel for everything. Do you mind telling us, the crowd, how old you are?
I'm 38.
Okay. And then, do you have another occupation besides being a badass indie game dev?
I don't know if I'm a bad as game dev. No, I came from another type of job from the printing industry, and then a couple of years now back, I moved to full time to indie game development.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you have one, what would you say your favorite movie is?
Oh, yeah, that's difficult. I like a lot of movies. I like the Conan movie,
Like
but then
the original Arnold Conan movie?
yeah, but it lost a bit of its over the years. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of films like Blade Runner or other science fiction films, the Alien movies.
Oh man, you're hitting home with me right now. I love the Alien films. I can't wait for Covenant coming out, and then I'm
Oh yeah,
also really excited for the Blade Runner sequel. It's been a long time, and I'm interested to see what they're gonna do coming back to the universe.
yeah, it will be interesting to see if it's a good film at all and how it's gonna made, etc. Yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, just to keep on the subject here, one of my favorite horror films is actually a German horror film called Anatomy. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
Just for any fans out there that want to check that out, it's a foreign horror film. Very, very cool premise. Nothing like it has ever been done in America, so kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then, so we're going to kind of keep along the same track here. What's your favorite song?
Oh, that's even more difficult. So I listen to a lot of black and death metal nowadays,
Okay.
since a few years now. But I like a lot of bands, and I like more an album instead of single songs. So I'm listening to the whole album most of the time.
Okay. Do you have a special album that you're working with right now?
It's a Polish black metal band, but I don't even know how it's pronounced. It's like Mogwa.
Maybe throw the spelling out there.
Yeah, that's a difficult part
Oh no.
about.
I do apologize. I'm a little sick.
Oh,
Okay. And then last one, what would you say that your favorite video game is? Or if you have a couple.
a couple, yeah. Planescape Torment,
Mm,
Fallout, Ultima 7. Yeah.
nice. All great choices. So now that we've kind of warmed up here and the audience has kind of gotten to know you a little bit, let's talk about Death Trash. So, according to the website, it takes place generations after the Great Galactic War on a planet called Taurus 5. And now civilization has kind of rebuilt itself, and there's something called ancients that are being freed from some sort of prisoner shackles, and the ever growing heart pounds for the flesh hive. And you're apparently kind of plopped into the middle of this as the key to the conflict, which sounds like a pretty epic story.
hmm I think it is. The main important point here is that it's not taking place on Earth. So it's another planet, but kind of similar, low tech because of circumstances. But it doesn't have like So it's a post-apocalyptic scenario where civilization is kind of broken or crashed, but it doesn't have all the previous human civilization references, like for example in the Fallout games, where you find the bunkers, etc., on and the destroyed cities. So it's another kind of post-apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to bring a lot of cool circumstances that we wouldn't even see in those games. One big question I have, are they humans? Like, are they humans that went out and colonized space?
Yep.
Okay. And then there was some sort of conflict that stranded these certain people on this planet, and now
they were before that. The conflict affected the planet,
okay.
and then yeah.
So it uses pixel art. It's post-apocalyptic. It's obviously a role-playing game. There's going to be real-time combat, dialogue trees with conversations with other characters, item crafting, psi powers, and you're going to be exploring this world. How big is this world? Is it like an open world, or is it more like chapter-based, where you're going from like section to section?
It's more like an open world, but the levels are not really. So it's separated in levels, but you can visit them by your own choice from a world map where you travel around.
Okay.
So it's not everything one big level, but yeah, kind of separated. But
So
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, but that game is on the Nintendo DS, and that kind of had like a world map where you selected levels, and then you would play through these sections of levels. You could go back and forth within these levels, and then go back to the world map, and then choose a different level or the same level to kind of go back into. So something like that.
Yeah, I don't know that game specifically, but also the Fallout games, they had also like a map traveling.
Yes.
Where you visited different
in
level hubs. And
in the original Fallout games, Fallout 1, 2, not the
exactly.
newer ones like Fallout 3, just so people can kind of go back and check that out if they've never actually played the original Fallout games, which would make me sad, but that's kind of where we are, right?
Yeah, they are pretty old right now, huh?
Right.
20
Absolutely.
years. Yeah.
You mentioned that you like the Torment games. Did you know that there's a new one coming out?
Yeah, it just came out. Huh? I didn't have time yet for it, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I. I haven't got to play it yet, but one of my other coworkers got it, and he's going to be letting me hop on his Steam account to play it, so I'm pretty excited about that. What would you say your biggest inspirations for the game are? I mean, you've gone over Fallout and some other games that have obviously kind of given some inspiration to this, but what would you say your biggest inspiration is? It doesn't have to be video game related.
It's really a mix of so many things. Like the dirty and gritty setting is the main aspect of it. I like a lot, and also mixing monsters and horror elements in it, but not making him like classic monsters, but also like beings you can talk to, etc. The main influence from the gameplay, I would say, is like Ultima 7, a role-playing game where you have much exploration and we have kind of a simulated world, but there's also a narrative story going on. You follow along, but then you can go sideways and do different things. Yeah.
Nice. What are you doing when you're not working on Death Trash?
I'm spending a lot of time on the game actually. I'm also having my little side projects, which are also making games or tools for games. I'm making a lot of art that is not directly related to Death Trash. Yeah, and I'm still spending time with my wife and going outside a bit. But I haven't really any hobbies anymore.
Well, I mean, if what you love doing and what you're working on is kind of like your hobby, that's kind of cool, though.
It is cool, but it's also like how do you say, like all encompassing. It's like there's not much else left besides that. So sometimes I think it would be good to get a bit more distance, a bit more free time. But yeah, on the other hand, I really love working on it, and it's now is the time for me to make it, to finish it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see the finished game, so I hope you keep working on it. But always make sure to take a break because sometimes you need that perspective to, reinvigorate the process.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
were you always going to use a pixel art style for the game, or did you have something different in mind when you first started?
The game itself was born by the visuals actually, so it was pretty sure from the beginning that it was this art style. So the images were first, and shortly after the world came into being. And what took a bit longer was like then figuring out how the real gameplay would be. So it was not a gameplay idea that started it all, but the world was there first. And
No.
because it began with a pixel art, it was always an important element of it.
Nice. And it's a really fun pixel art too, because you can some pixel arts, like when you're looking at uh, the sprites and everything, some things just kind of get lost in translation. But in Death Trash, everything seems to come together really nicely within the world. You never feel like things are getting lost, which is really nice.
Oh, thanks.
You mentioned tools earlier, and going off your Twitter feed, you have some pretty amazing tools at your disposal that you've been using for creating dialogue trees and environments, and it seems like you can kind of edit all these things quickly and on the fly. What engine are you using for your game? And then,
It's
oh, go ahead.
it's Unity. Yeah.
Okay. And then, did you make these tools yourself?
Yes, they are all self-made, but they are not really like yeah, on the fly. They take a bit of time to make, but I'm also having a bit of a big code base now, a big foundation of a framework. So it's getting easier to add new tools.
Well, I'll say that you make it look really easy when you post stuff on Twitter then, because when you're designing some of the levels and you're just kind of like brushing over some of the details with the sprite editor, you make it look so easy and it's pretty awesome.
They've become very useful now. I mean, I worked a lot on these tools. Some people were even teasing me if I'm still working on the game itself or not. But working on the game led to making these tools because I saw they were needed, like the level editor, for example. Working without it was just not really feasible in Unity. Unity was not the standard tools. They were just not good enough for this kind of game, or not fast enough. So they had to be done, these tools, and now that they are there, it's really useful because I can customize them to my own purpose.
Yeah, seeing some of your comparisons of some of the initial level parts that you've remade from your original work to using the level editor, it's kind of cool to see how similar it is, but also how many things have changed because you were able to add a little bit more detail.
Yeah, my fear was a bit that it changed too much from the original art style. But I think it's still okay. Of course, it looks a bit different now because all the parts are like single elements instead of one whole painted image, etc. And of course, I myself, as an artist, changed a bit over the time of the 1.5 years now. So there's a bit of a difference, but I think it's still okay. And in the beginning, I I really thought I could make the whole levels like one complete painted image, but that just didn't work out for the gameplay. That was too complicated.
hmm so you've created quite an interesting variety in the arsenal for the game, but we haven't heard a lot about the psi powers. Can you reveal anything cool about what you're going to be able to do with those psi powers yet?
Uh, that's the stuff that's really all still in the working. The main elements of the game are combat, dialogue, and exploration, and I want to bring both to combat and to non-combat special abilities for the player, but the gameplay is really the part that worked on the most right now, and still a lot of parts missing. So I don't want to talk about that too much because it will probably change anyhow.
No problem. That's kind of why I left it open and vague like that. When you get to the website or you watch some of the prototype videos, it shows off some different characters that you can choose from. Are these characters purely aesthetic, or will each character have different starting abilities or stats?
You make your own characters, like visuals, but also simple stats elements. Yeah, and a kind of a background story you choose. So it's the character gets a bit of personality given by you right from the start.
Nice. So when you say that you get to personalize it, does that mean you get to like change their hair, skin color, different clothes, or is it like a select person that you choose from and then you make their name?
No, you can select single colors and different head, etc. I'm still figuring out some of the stuff because it's a bit complicated with the animations because it's frame by frame animation. So it's not like with 3D animations where you can just stuck one element on and it fits for all. So the more details or more options I add, the more it gets a lot on making the animations. But I think there will be a good variety of different visuals for the characters.
Nice. Well, I mean, there's already some really cool stuff going on with just the kind of the main character that you show off. So I'm pretty excited. Your website says James Dean is doing the music for the game. Is that like the James Dean or a different, less well-known musician with the same name?
Yeah, a different James Dean, but he's really great. I like his style a lot, and he already added kind of a bit of ambience and some sound effects to the game, and it's really helping bringing it alive.
Nice. What's your favorite thing to do while playing the game when you're testing a build?
I always like to try out how the annoy the people or just randomly shoot them and how they react and that kind of stuff. I want to add a lot to the game so the characters have even their own agendas or their daily schedules. They walk around, they interact with each other, and you as a player can just watch them do it, or you can try to manipulate them or disturb them.
So, Death Trash looks pretty amazing. I mean, you've got these gigantic creatures, these regular people, these other creatures that you can kind of interact with, and as you were saying, you get to interact with them within this world to kind of play out your own epic story. But do you know like when it's going to be released? Do you have an idea of a release window? Right now on the website, it just says 2017 or later. Would you say you're fairly far into development, or still kind of mid range?
Mid-range still.
Okay.
There will be a Kickstarter in 2 or 3 months, and I'm hoping to a few months after that should be the release of an alpha version, playable version for many people, and then I'm doing it step by step. There's still so much left to do. I really can't give an exact date right now.
And then, do you have any other platforms in mind? I know you have right now. It's PC and Mac, I believe, or was it Linux?
Linux too, yeah.
Okay. So, is there
Yeah.
anything else other than those three?
It's possible. There's no definite, no advanced planning on that yet. But the game works also with gamepad, in addition to mouse and keyboard, and it was so from day one. So I think it would be a good fit to console platforms too.
As far as the Kickstarter goes, do you think you might add platforms as stretch goals if the funding gets high enough?
Not sure yet.
The one thing I would be trepidatious about is that all of a sudden puts a lot more work on you, and then puts a lot more into the game as far as hype behind it. oh man, it's coming out for Xbox One now. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, I got to make sure the Xbox One version is working. So I can definitely understand why you may not want to go there right away.
I had a similar thinking, and also the PC version is really most important to me first. And there's also the questions with other languages, etc. But I just want to get the game done first in English and on PC, and then yeah.
Absolutely. What advice do you have for other indie developers or people who might want to start their own game?
Don't start with a big game. Start small and then build up from there.
Okay.
So I made a lot of small things before, but this step from the very small games I made to this project now, it was a bit too large, too big, this step. But it's okay. I'm figuring out everything, but it would have been wise to have something middle-sized in between.
Absolutely.
Well, on the other hand, the project just appeared. It just revealed itself. Like, so, I didn't really plan to make. Oh, let's make a big game now, but it just came into being.
Well, thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit down and talk with us. It's been pretty amazing. It's our first interview that I've gotten an email back, and I'm pretty excited. I couldn't be happier at the result because it's one of my most anticipated projects that I've been looking at so far.
Oh, that's cool to hear. It was a real pleasure for me. Thanks, and sorry for my German accent, etc.
Oh, no problem at all. And then, where can people check you out?
It's all on devtrash.com.
Okay.
On my Twitter account, at Tailcrafter.
Tailcrafter. That's TALE?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess that's it. That's our first developer interview. Hopefully this is the first of many to come. And please let us know what you thought and what we could improve on. Comment to us, message us on Facebook, facebook.com/holdtoskip. Email us at holdtoskip@gmail.com, or catch us on Twitter at holdtoskip. We're nothing without you guys and gals, so thank you so much.